Alright, so I'm walking around the pit area, and one of the trucks here that I really like is this Project Tan line. It's a whole body style Chevy, and I saw this car on Instagram before I came to the event, but this thing's really cool, so I'm going to talk with the owner real quick, and he's going to give you guys a rundown of like what everything's done to it, kind of what they do as a company. They have a lot of their personal products on this truck, and it's a really cool setup.
It's Joe from PSI. This is my 1994 Chevy OBS truck. We make LS wiring harnesses at PSI, so of course this has one of our harnesses. Got a 6.0 LS2 heads and cam, running a Nissan Frontier 6-speed manual, which is pretty unusual. If I take you around the back of the car, you can see what's kind of cool about the back. So I've got coilovers on the front, coilovers on the rear, and I'm running our bracket, which lets you put a 5th-gen Camaro 2010 to 15 IRS in the back. And I've got IRS, Aussie, 14-inch Brembos in the back of the bolt-on kit. I'm running 19x12s all around. I built the truck for autocross. I've done a couple events at UMI, Muscle on the Mountain, Down King of the Mountain. We're going to do LS Fest in a couple weeks. And the truck's been cool as hell to drive. It's fun. It gets attention. It's got this 90s theme going to it.
Oh, is it a stock LS2 or have you? What have you done to it?
LS2, yeah, ported heads, a cam, and then we got an intake from Texas Speed that, you know, we kind of sticker bombed just to fit with that theme. Otherwise, the motor's stock bottom end. It puts out like 450 horsepower. Yeah, we're doing dyno tunes. And otherwise, it's, you know, quicker steering box. Like I said, coilovers all around. The 6-piston Willwoods in the front. I've just been fine-tuning the truck this year. So.
Okay, how long you had it?
I've had it about, it's a year and a half I've had it. So,
oh wow.
Actually, yeah, I got a bit of a fender bender last year, so the thing's going to get wrapped. You're going to see it. It's not going to be tan lined anymore. It's going to be white for LS Fest. That's the plan, but still keeps the 19 speed.
Yo. And what are you running for a wheel and tire package?
So I'm running Apex 19x12s for a Camaro. It's the rear setup for a Camaro. I have them all, you know, square setup all around. Okay. Spacer in the front.
Yeah, I saw you running 315
yeah,
square.
315 square, yeah, which is the cool thing to do. And we've got tons of front grip, and then obviously rear grip's not a problem with the IRS.
Okay. And then are you running the factory Chevy Knuckles, or what do you have for that?
I've got Willwood drop spindles on the front with Willwood 6 pistons.
Okay.
So they drop at 2 inches, and then I've got a coilover kit from OBS Chevy Racing. So he's got adjustable upper arms. Okay. And he puts a 12-inch shock in the front. They've got a pretty big spring and shock in the front, so for more travel. I've got a giant sway bar from Detroit Speed in the front. It's like a 35mm sway bar. It's the biggest bar I could find.
You said that's a Detroit Speed one?
Yes.
Okay.
And then cooling around in the rear with factory bars. It's got an SS1 right now. I have a 1MD bar and a Detroit Speed bar to try to figure out balance. But the truck can do more than I can do right now.
So they're Willwood drop knuckles intended for this truck.
For this truck, for an OBS. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That way you can run it with their kit, with their, you know, their brake kit on the front.
Yep. How long did it take you to build the thing?
It was, I mean, on and off, but really seriously from February until May.
Okay.
That's kind of when it all started. We also have a harness bar we had built. We're going to start carrying these. To put, I have a 6-point harness in there. It's going to bolt into the factory seatbelt spots.
Right there. So you can see right back in there.
Yeah, so that'll bolt in where the factory seatbelt spots would have been. You know, you don't want to run this with factory belts. So we've got aftermarket Corbeau seats just to hold me, and they're a lower price point seat.
Okay.
You can see actually where the Nissan 6-speed shifter comes through. It comes through in a great spot.
Yo.
It's an unusual trans to be running for anybody to run, but our buddy LOJ does Nissan swaps, and he's giving me the trans.
Okay.
And we do a lot of work together.
And what do you think is like the biggest challenge with making this vehicle handle? Like, what was the biggest hurdle making this setup for autocross?
I mean, so far I'm bigger than all the other trucks. So I've been in truck events, and if I'm here with the C10, what do you call that?
S10s?
An S10.
Yep.
lost my mind for a second. Or Chevy Love. Yeah, I'm about 1,000 pounds heavier, like 14 inches wider. So on this tight stuff, that's been an issue. And just my own, you know, my own track time with this. I do some track day stuff, but autocross is fairly new to me, so it's a different animal.
Yeah.
It definitely wants to rotate. On the road, it's great. You know, it sticks and it handles better than a stock truck, obviously, and rides way better.
Yep.
Here, it's a lot of fine tuning and just talking to everyone here about, you know, shock valving, about spring rates, all that kind of stuff, even tire pressures.
Okay. What does this thing weigh in at?
It's, without me, it's 3650. I'm about 220-ish, so it's not as heavy as people think it is.
Yeah.
It's 55-44 balance.
Okay.
The weight's not too bad. I mean, I'd like more weight in the back.
That's actually a fairly
Not
decent.
Vegas.
That's
For
a
a
fairly
truck.
decent weight balance.
Yes. See, what I did too is I put a Mustang tank in the back. Kind of hard to see, but
You put a what?
there's a first-gen Mustang gas tank in the back. So the Phillips here like an old school car, and the tank is back here. So the tank's as low as possible to get some weight back there.
That's interesting because Zach Sawyer with the red, with the lighter red S10, he's got the same gas tank.
Yeah, it's kind of a popular swap in C10s and S10s if you're doing an EFI swap.
Yup.
This thing you can keep the factory tank, but it's on the driver's side, so
Yeah.
shifting weight this way has been my priority.
Okay.
I mean, the plans in the road, we have a spoiler, but I'm going to do some downforce testing. I've got ride height sensors to measure downforce, and
Really?
down the road after the wrap, I want to figure out spoiler or wing and get some rear downforce. I'm going to Optima VIR in October, so
Yup.
that's a serious track, and I want to get ready for it.
Okay, cool. One thing that's really interesting that I just noticed while we're back here, he's got a palm tree in the taillight. Kind of goes along with the theme of the truck, but that's a nice little touch. The other thing that I really like, one of my favorite parts about the truck, is they even have their PSI logo on the center of the steering wheel.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
It's hard to tell, but it's got the Dakota digital gauge cluster in there.
Okay.
And the guy that works with me did these taillights, these palm tree taillights. So when I'm on the turn signals,
Oh my God, that's so cool.
it's pretty cool. When I'm on the turn signals, the palm trees come on.
I like that you run the Dakota Digital because I'm a big Fox body guy, and that's a very common like cluster that people swap over in
they're
Fox
great.
bodies.
You can change the colors on your phone. It's cool. You can set up the gauges. You know, so I've got a the Mustang tank in the back. And just right on my phone, I tell it the ohm range of the Mustang tank.
Oh really?
And I'm good to go.
Oh no way.
I've got color theme for nighttime. It's got the pink and the green and the white. But you can default. There's a bunch of settings in there. You can do red, white, and blue. You can do whatever you want.
Speaking of the pink and teal, I think another one of my favorite features is
I forgot about that.
just the Chevy logo on the front.
Yeah, I cut a flow tie like on the Z28s into the grill just for more aero.
Okay, so it's hollowed out.
Yes.
Just like the Z28s.
Yes. And then I added these ducts where the other headlights would be, the lower headlights.
I saw
The plan
that.
is to make that one an airbox. This one be brake ducting.
Okay,
Haven't gotten there yet.
that's cool.
But it's been a hell of a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty busy the next few weeks with it.
So if you want to follow them on Instagram, there's Project Tan Lines and then PSI
Conversion.
Okay. And then do you guys have YouTube or anything?
Oh yes, yeah, we're on YouTube. YouTube's PSI Conversion. Our website's PSI Conversion. There's a build page on our page for that. Under projects, you can buy all the parts we're using. There's Dirty Dingo mounts which we sell.
There's what?
Dirty Dingo makes motor mounts.
Okay.
So we've got his slider mounted here. I modified it a little bit, but I got the motor as low and far back as I could without really beating up the firewall.
Okay.
Which helped with the weight distribution. So it's pretty far back there.
This thing actually is set really far back. There's not a lot of room back there.
Yeah, if you look at where the front wheels are, like it's not race car, but it's pretty far back.
So actually the center line of the wheel is actually very close. It's like
it's close to the front of the motor.
Yeah, it's like in line with like the front two cylinders, which is pretty good. I'm sure that helps a lot with the weight distribution.
Yeah, I did a bunch in the front to keep weight down. I have an aftermarket course for it. It's just a cheapo one, but it weighs less.
Yeah.
Factory with radiator. I've got a PWM fan, a pulse width modulated fan. The thing doesn't overheat.
Okay.
That's cool. From DeWitt's radiator. We do a lot of stuff. You make an awesome small fan. You can control the speed, it's not just on off. That pulls a ton of air.
Okay. So yeah, and then as you guys can see, he's got the white fender. Eventually it's gonna be wrapped white.
That's the out colors. That's gonna be a pearl white.
Okay.
Hopefully before LS Fest.
And actually he's got the truck on the back of his shirt, what it's gonna look like. So that'll be what it's gonna be soon.
I've got the correct wheels and all that on there. I've got Z06, the C506 ducts in the back, and the plan is to make them rear brake ducts.
Okay.
They're not modified, the body's not modified. I saw a Corvette and it looked like the same kind of body line.
Yup.
And it fit right on here, so obviously the cones I've hit the cones, so the cones took a bit of a beating on it, but
yeah,
they're gonna go back after the wrap.
And then I just noticed he's also got axle dumps on the exhaust. Yes. What are you running for mufflers?
I've got MagnaFlows, the quietest MagnaFlow I could find, but because it dumps under the bed, it's still kind of loud.
Okay.
We made an X-pipe with V-bands on it. So it's all stainless 3-inch.
I like that you got an X-pipe, those are good.
Yeah, I like the sound of the X-pipe too.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like what everyone does on a Mustang.
Yes,
Those they give a really snarly sound.
Yes, it's all tucked up pretty well under there. I'd love to do a flat floor down the road and all that when I get faster.
Yeah. You mind?
This was kind of the first aero design truck from Chevy, so.
Really?
You know, they got rid of all the big trim that sticks out and stuff. They did a bunch of wind tunnel testing on this before it came out.
Really?
It's like their first computer, design truck, so I'd like to add to that.
Yeah. You mind doing like a quick startup and exhaust clip real quick? Got the palm tree air freshener. Thing sounds good. Well, that's cool, man.
Yeah, everyone says it sounds good. I can't tell because I'm always driving it. But
yeah.
The plan is to clean up the inside a little, lower the seats, and to fix the headliner, so I put a suede.
Okay. Yeah, you still got full interior in this thing.
Yes. Yeah, for Optima, they judge you on all the interior stuff you still have. So you need wipers, you need full interior.
So do you run Optima Ultimate?
I'm going to be Optima. There's a truck class in Optima now.
Okay.
It's sponsored by No Limit, and my buddy Steve's got an all-wheel drive Frontier, and he's dominating the truck class. So I know I'm not going to win, but I'm going to have fun down at VAR. And it'd be cool to get on a big track with this thing.
Okay. Man, this thing is simple. It still has a cassette player, but like that's all there is to the dash.
Cup holder. Yeah, that Dakota fits right in there. I'm running our buddies at Reversion Raceworks. They make a bunch of 3D printed stuff. So if you want to run a Holly dash, a Tinker dash, or in my case just the wideband, this is a 3D printed vent that's meant to hold the gauge. So we sell all that kind of stuff. If you can get it.
Okay, so you got a vent adapter for the AFR
gauge. Yeah, this is 3D printed to look like the factory gauge. You can put any, I think it's 2 1/16 gauge in there. They also make pods. They make pods for everything, for Mustangs, S10s.
And you said
throw the big, like the 7-inch or the 12-inch dash in there.
Okay.
They make stuff for that. They'll do custom stuff. They do a bunch of stuff with us.
And you said that gauge pod is something you guys sell?
Yes. Yeah, that's from Reversion Raceworks, but we're both in New Jersey, so we resell their stuff.
Okay.
They're a bunch of cool guys, so they'll be at LS Fest also. I'm sure you're going to be there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're a Mustang guy, maybe. Yeah, we've got a cool customer of ours has the maroon Fox body over here with the
really?
swap.
Oh yeah, we're parked right next to him.
Okay.
I was checking that car out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, is he running your harness then?
Yes, he's running our harness in there.
Okay.
The 60 Corvette, Big Weber, the black and red one. It's almost right across there.
Oh yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful car.
The C1?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That is a beautiful car.
It's two frame, but it's mostly C6, Z06 stuff. So
okay.
It's got levers like knee action shock stuff in the back, like cantilever shocks.
That's crazy.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that it would have had C6, Z06
you gotta go check that thing out. But
yeah,
this is built not like that, not for looks. It's a track truck, so